Let's talk about Alex Smith's emotional post about his daughter getting a brain tumor removed via an emergency surgery. Talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is. Look at some stats that really show how wide the gap is between him and everyone else. Take a look at his gender reveal party highlight video thing and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the Red Beard of Destiny, or sometimes known as the Red Bearded Bald Elf Man, and I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall, so I'm going to need you to sub if you're new, hit that like button if you wish Mahomes and his wife Brittany congrats on their baby boy. More on that later, and let's get into this video. My wife and I just got back last night from our little weekend getaway to celebrate our 9-year wedding anniversary. Great fun, great food. We stayed near the plaza, and I was only recognized one time. Some guy came up to me at H&M and said, "Do you have a YouTube channel about the Chiefs?" Well, yes, I do. It was a great time. Got to hang out, kick it without children, and have an actual conversation without being interrupted. That was cool. So, very fun. But now, we are back, and I am here to bring you more Chiefs news. But to start things off, Shannon Sharpe turned 54 yesterday, and look at this photo, because this man is all jacked up on Mountain Dew, testosterone, and most likely steroids. He is puffed up like a balloon. Holy smokes, Batman. And the most interesting thing we're going to be looking at here is his thumbs. Can anybody explain why he's flexing like this with his thumbs out like he stole some kids' noses? I'm not sure, but I need answers, and I pretty much need them now. Anyway, we're going to move on from that because I don't really want to look at this photo anymore, and let's give some player news and updates via social media, because even though there's not a lot of direct football news right now, players are all over the place, getting married, and having a lot of fun. Ronald Jones II shared a post yesterday, and it looks like the town of McKinney, Texas, which is the town I believe he grew up in and played high school football in. They officially made yesterday, June 26th, National Ronald Jones Day. And this was confirmed by the mayor via a document Rojo himself shared online. So that's pretty freaking cool. Nazi Johnson went home to wish his dad a happy 49th birthday. Snead can be seen throwing up some peace signs. Juan Thornhill is out there in Greece, and I'm maybe a tad bit jealous. Okay, maybe a lot a bit jealous. That looks incredible. Shane Buechele and Garrick Dieter won a, you guessed it, pickleball tournament. Creed Humphrey is officially a part of the Senior Bowl Hall of Fame, with this photo solidifying all proof of him with the rest of the 2022 class. CEH was out on some beach about to eat a dinner for two with his lady, and the table is already set and all nice for them on the beach. Not gonna lie, I need to make more money in life so I can do stuff like this for my wife at least once before we both get old and croak. Willie Gay Jr. is getting a thigh tattoo done up of a dog. Maybe it's his dog. I'm not 100% sure though, but it's a dog nonetheless. Unless that dog identifies as a cat, you never know. Lonnie Johnson Jr. shared a pretty awesome highlight video of his recent football camp, showing drills, kids running routes, getting their ankles crossed, thrown to the ground, and lots of fun stuff like that that you would see at a football camp. Frank Clark is out here doing these squat jump things and then jumping up about 6 inches off the ground to grab this bar and hold on for his dear life. So there you go. The Shark putting more work in, and yes, he still looks a bit small out here to me, but hey, he's out here working, so let's go. Cornell Powell got married yesterday, officially tying the knot with his fiance, and you could see his former Clemson teammate Trevor Lawrence in attendance, which was pretty cool, mainly to see his hair, but it was cool that he was there as well. So congrats to Cornell Powell. And from here, I want to talk to you guys about former Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith, because he shared a very personal message with the world yesterday about something very near and dear to his heart. It's about his youngest child, his only daughter, and I believe her first name is pronounced Sloan. So it's Sloan Kensington Smith, and I want to start off by saying this. She's alive and appears to be recovering well, but on May 10th, she was rushed to the ER with stroke-like symptoms, and an MRI revealed she had a large brain tumor and needed an emergency craniotomy. I think that's how you say that word. It was a 10-hour surgery. That would be a long, very stressful 10 hours, not gonna lie. But thankfully the surgery was successful and the doctors were able to remove 100% of the tumor, and she's pretty much bounced back to her acting normal, fun-having self. But a few weeks later, they kept running tests and trying to figure out what the heck is going on and why that happened. And it turns out Sloan's tumor is a very rare malignant tumor, which I believe is cancerous. And it has very few documented cases without a clear roadmap for treatment and where to go from here. So they're currently getting more tests and trying to come up with a game plan on how to move forward. So, wow. Keep the Smith family in your prayers if you pray, because this is pretty wild. His daughter doesn't look much older than mine, and I personally couldn't imagine going through something like that, but I appreciate his transparency and willingness to update something so personal to the public. Alex Smith is the man, and certainly a class act, and I wish nothing but the best for him, his family, and his beautiful little girl. And then on a much lighter note than the previous segment, we got to talk about the bronze Fonz for a second here. This statue depicts actor Henry Winkler as the Fonz from the 1970s TV show Happy Days, and this statue, in case you were wondering, is located on the Milwaukee Riverwalk in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Well, the reason I'm talking about this statue is because Henry Winkler himself shared this recently on his Twitter, which is a video, I believe, of his own hands putting a Patrick Mahomes jersey onto his statue and saying, "The sun," in the midst of this cloudy moment, which is epic and also true, because how many times did games appear to be not winnable or out of victory's grasp when Mahomes himself just showed out and pulled out the W? The sun in the midst of a cloudy, gloomy day. Well, someone responded to Winkler telling him that the wrong jersey was put up on there because it needed to be Josh Allen's. Well, someone immediately replied to that saying his jersey would blow off in 13 seconds. So it makes sense why you would not put his jersey on there. And then we need to talk about Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Brittany. They had their gender reveal party over the weekend in which they both said they thought they were going to have a boy.
Guaranteed boy.
Boy.
Then they proceeded to shoot this water gun looking thing at this canvas, and it shot out blue ink or blue paint, meaning our QB1 in 20 years is on the freaking way. So let's go. Mahomes was so elated, he didn't know what to do with himself. So of course, he ran and jumped into his little pool. So yeah, Colin Saunders tweeted out congrats to Mahomes saying, "My son will play running back behind Pat's son. I will make it happen." And Mahomes actually responded saying, "Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro." So there you go. Colin Saunders is calling it now, and I'm here for it 100%. And since we're on the subject of Mahomes and his children, one of his kids, that is Buffalo Bills QB Josh Allen, along with 49ers tight end George Kittle, were both recently on an episode of the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and there's a couple of things worth mentioning from this. First off, Josh Allen talked about the golf match with him and Mahomes against the old guys, and he was asked this question.
If you had to rate each guy, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, you and Mahomes, how are you guys ranking you guys as far as like your guys' golf skill?
I'd say Aaron, Pat, myself, Tom.
Oh, Tom was that bad?
Yeah.
Oh yes, Tom was that bad. You have better believe it. If you didn't watch it, at one point during this match, he literally hit the ball through the trees to another hole. I'm like, how do you do that? I don't know. But Tom needs to stick to football and eating his cute little avocado ice cream sandwiches for dessert, because that's about all he's good at, which is fine because, you know, he's the GOAT. He's the best. But whatever. Anyway, moving on. Allen was then asked about the famous divisional playoff game against the Chiefs, you know, the shootout. And apparently, all season, Josh Allen was 9-0 on coin tosses, meaning he'd go out there, guess the coin toss, and would win it. And he never lost all season until that night where he went 0 for 2. Yeah, he lost both the opening coin toss and the overtime coin toss.
That's the game people talk about, you know?
It's crazy,
To
isn't
be
it?
a part of it is great. To be on the losing end of it, not so great.
Sucks.
You know? And
Yeah.
that's,
Super fun.
it doesn't make me feel any better when someone comes up and says, "That was the greatest game I've ever seen." It's like, we lost.
Well, we lost
Yeah.
it.
What
but,
makes you
thanks.
feel worse, losing the game or losing the coin toss?
Oh,
The coin toss. Because I was up to that point, I think I was 9-0 throughout the season. And in our production meeting, it was jinxed. And I was 0 for 2 that game.
So yeah, sucks for him, but it was basically the greatest football game I've ever seen in which the defenses did not play a single snap in the last 3 minutes of the game, but yes, very wild and fun game. During this segment on the podcast, they were actually playing highlights from that game, forcing Josh Allen to relive that nightmare until he finally had enough.
There's, yeah, like I said, plenty of stuff that happened, but like I said, hey, we're not even in that. Yeah, you can exit that. Come on.
Josh Allen was like, yo, enough of this, away with you. Well, now I'm saying, enough of you for today, Josh Allen. Have a good day, bud.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
I want to take a little bit of time from here to talk about Patrick Mahomes and his greatness. And I hope that's okay with you all as we look back at some of these stats. Take a look at this list of QBs and their total playoff TDs in the first 5 years of their career. And this is worth noting right off the top here that Mahomes has only started 4 of his first 5 years, meaning he didn't play in the playoffs his first year. So all of these numbers from QBs in their first 5 seasons, Mahomes did it in 4. Anyway, you have Mahomes way up there on his own little island, on his own little mountaintop, I guess, if you will, with 32 postseason TDs in 4 years, and then a gap that is barely wider than the gap of Michael Strahan's teeth. As the next one down is Russell Wilson with 22 TDs in 5 years. Then you have Flacco with 20, Big Ben and Kurt Warner at 17. I see Bernie and Josh Allen at 15. And then look at these legends on the list. Elway and McNabb are at 14. Marino, Brady, Favre, and Aikman are at 13. So that's a crazy freaking stat, man. Mahomes is way up there on Everest. Sheesh. And to keep these stats going, Mahomes leads the entire NFL in total passing yards since 2018 with 18,707 yards, edging out the old man Brady by roughly 350 yards. And if you look at this list, it's kind of wild because there are several interesting QBs who play at a not so great level, but have still thrown for a lot of yards. Derek Carr is a big standout on this list in particular, that little average man. Jared Goff is also on that list. Dak Prescott, Baker, One Shoulder Mayfield, Kirk Cousins. So lots of average guys on here who can certainly throw a football and get some yards, but cannot win an important football game in the postseason to save their little lives. But to keep going, Cody Benjamin from CBS Sports released an article this month ranking all 16 AFC QBs, and I've been wanting to look at this with you guys, so let's take a look, shall we? I'm going to talk about the top 10, and he lists Matt. I can't believe he blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, Ryan at 10. Then he has Ryan. I need a very good running back to be an average QB, Tannehill at 9. Then Derek, Patrick's little son, Carr at 8. Deshaun, I will be suspended this season, Watson at 7. Lamar running back Jackson at 6. Joe, 0 rings, Burrow at 5. Russell, let's ride Wilson at 4. Then, I'm done with the nicknames. He has Justin Herbert at 3, Josh Allen at 2, and then Patrick freaking Mahomes up at the number 1 spot. And here's what the author had to say about Mahomes. It's gotten to the point with Mahomes that anything less than highlight reel perfection raises questions about whether he's slipping as his generation's premier gunslinger. Take, for example, his 2021 campaign in which he forced lots of throws and relied too much on off-script plays, but still posted a top 10 QB rating, threw 35-plus touchdowns for the 3rd time in 4 years, and effortlessly led the Chiefs to their 4th straight AFC Championship game appearance. He'll face new challenges in 2022, throwing to Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, i.e. the Dash Brothers, instead of go-to deep ball artist Tyreek Hill, but he still possesses unteachable creativity in and outside the pocket, and as long as he's paired with Andy Reid, it's tough to bet against his title chances. And I want to say, thank you for not putting any other QB in the AFC above this man, especially Josh Allen. While I agree Josh Allen is a very talented QB, he's not Patrick Mahomes and loses to him for a living in the postseason, so far at least. But I will say this, as much as I troll, if Mahomes didn't exist in an alternate universe, Josh Allen would certainly be my pick for the Chiefs QB. So he's definitely a talented QB, no doubt about that, but Mahomes is that guy. And the future is certainly bright with him at the helm. No freaking doubt about it. From here, I want to look at a couple super thanks comments and give a couple much needed shout outs to some awesome people. So we have a super thanks for $5 from Jason in which he spots me a cold brew. Thanks so much for that. I never turn down a good cold brew. And then the next is a $5 super thanks from Sean Palmerin And he says, great hype video. I am ready. Let's go. How about those Chiefs? Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that hype video. It was a ton of fun to make. And I also want to give a shout out to DJ and Micah. DJ is a fan of this channel, and his wife, Micah, she runs a business called Sage Bites. This is a catering company based in Olathe, Kansas that specializes in harvest tables and very elegant cheese boards. And to be clear, this is not a sponsored ad for them, but they hit me up and wanted to give me and my wife a board for Father's Day. So last Father's Day, which I guess was like a week ago or whatever, we got this awesome board with all kinds of meat, cheeses, and stuff that was way above my head in food knowledge, but it tasted freaking incredible. Seriously, we appreciated the gesture from you guys. And if any of you are in the KC area, Olathe specifically, definitely check them out at sagebitesllc.com. Great people with great food. It was fabulous. And I also want to give a thanks to Justin the Way for sending over these awesome Chiefs coasters to the P.O. Box. Look at these. These are freaking awesome. Shiny Chiefs logo, all the good stuff. And then in April, another fan named Gil, he sent me this pretty cool Batman collection piece that I felt was definitely worth mentioning. Batman fell over. I think he ate too much of that board from Sage Bites, and he's taken a nap, but he was standing a minute ago. Anyway, I love Batman. I have a Batman chair, so I appreciated this gift very freaking much. And if y'all want to send me something, doesn't have to be crazy. It could be a letter, could be a photo of Patrick Mahomes' son, Derek Carr. Anything you want to send, the address is in my description and it's popping up here on the screen. Send me some mail and I will share it on my videos because I like to do this. I want to interact with y'all. It's a lot of fun. Make sure to leave a bearded comment to potentially be featured in my next video. Sub for more daily news like this. And then check out this video here from the Scrambling Armchair, in which he gives his in-depth take. I think it's like a 45-minute video on the Chiefs wide receiver projection. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those